my dear friend for last 40 years, and whose journey we are all assembled here to celebrate, Honorable Justice Abhay Oka, Srimati Anuja Oka, and family members of Justice Oka, my esteemed sister and brothers from the Supreme Court, Shri R. Venkatramani, the Learned Attorney General for India, Shri Tushar Mehta, the Learned Solicitor General, and all other law officers of the Government of India, my esteemed colleagues from Bombay High Court, past and present, my colleagues from Karnataka High Court, Shri Vikas Singh, the President, Supreme Court Bar Association, Shri Rahul Kaushik, Vice President Pragna Baghel, the Secretary, and all other newly elected members of the SCBA, Shri Kapil Sibal, the immediate past President of the SCBA, Shri Vipin Nair, the President of SCORA, and all other office bearers of SCORA, the Secretary General of the Supreme Court, the registrars, and the staff members of the Supreme Court Registry, and the members of the Supreme Court Bar Association. Good evening to one and all. Before I begin with my speech, I think this is my second farewell speech. The first one started when I was here to bid farewell to the Honorable Chief Justice, Justice Sanjeev Khanna. And I think Rachna ji is here. So she started making demands even before I had taken the oath. Kapil ji said that gifts are not demanded. They should come naturally. When my turn came to speak, I said that at least with my past track record, you should not have any apprehensions. And therefore, though Rahul and Vikas ji have made several demands, this is not an occasion to reflect on that. I think I had rightly rejected the request of Mr. Vikrant Yadav for a felicitation by the SCBA. I think I will reiterate that. Immediately after I took over as CJI, we had a chamber meeting on the very next day because Justice Vikramnath and Justice Dulia were to leave on the other day. And we have taken various decisions like the permission to circulate the letter, the sequencing, which creates a lot of problems. So we have requested all my colleagues that they should give the sequences by 5 o'clock prior evening so that they can be published in the supplementary list and the lawyers can arrange their diary accordingly. The other decision that we have taken is with regard to removal of the glass partition, which was demanded by the bar for last several months. So I think when all of you come back after partial working days, I'm yet to get used to it, you will see the Supreme Court in its original format. Now, let me come to my speech. I'll begin my address by asking a simple question. How many of you know about Anganwadi workers? Except by colleagues from the Bombay High Court and of course, Justice Orade, very few must be knowing about it. The Anganwadi workers are crucial frontline workers in India's public health care and education system, focusing mainly on children of 0 to 6 years. These workers serve as vital agents for early childhood education, healthcare services, and holistic child development, and assistance to women during maternity. These workers are instrumental in combating issues like malnutrition, infant mortality, and preventable diseases. There are many such unsung heroes in the country, and particularly in the remote tribal areas These Anganwadi Sevikas, Anganwadi workers do a wonderful work. Despite their crucial role, Anganwadi workers face numerous challenges. One such issue faced by them was non-payment of gratuity under the Payment of Gratuities Act 1972, which mandates employers to pay gratuity to their employees as a form of compensation for their long-term service. When the Anganwadi workers approached the Supreme Court, it was held that the Anganwadi workers are entitled to gratuity under the 1972 Act. You may ask, why speak of Anganwadi workers at a farewell function of Justice Oka? It is because the judgment of the Supreme Court was authored by none other than Justice Abhay Oka. For in the silence of neglected lives, he heard the quiet call of justice. With the stroke of his pen, he wrote not just a verdict, but restored a faith of thousands. And so today, as he steps into a new chapter, let us not only celebrate a career of wisdom, but a legacy where the smallest voices were not only heard, but honored. This is Oka's distinguished career, spanning over 4 decades, including more than 2 decades of exceptional service on the bench, reflects his commitment to justice, both as an advocate and as a judge. I recall that even in those early years of practice, Justice Oka had earned a reputation as a lawyer who combined intellect with meticulous preparation. He complemented his brilliance with tireless hard work. Whenever he stood in court, he was exceptionally prepared, a practice that he still maintains as a judge of the Supreme Court. Over his distinguished 16-year tenure at the Bombay High Court, Justice Oka earned a recognition for his commitment to principles of fairness, accountability, and safeguarding rights. Justice Oka's name became synonymous with upholding rule of law, ensuring transparency in legal proceedings, and championing the protection of individual liberties. On a personal note, our journey has always been simultaneous. We started practice in Mumbai almost at the same time. After 5 years, I shifted to Nagpur. We became judges almost at the same time. He became in August, I became in November. And then in 2019, when I was given a hint that I'm being called here, Justice Oka and one another colleague were senior to me. And I went to his chamber and I told him that I have got such a message, so what should I do? He said graciously that the Bombay quota is already full, and I know that you are not going from Bombay quota, and if you go from some other quota in which I can't go, and if my friend is getting an opportunity to become Chief Justice of India, I'll be most happiest person. As I said in his felicitation at Mumbai in 2021, organized by the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, that there has always been a healthy competition between us. A competition, but a healthy one, not a unhealthy one. As to how to do our best to impart justice to the last man, to the common citizens, we have strived our best in that manner. A couple of months ago, I received a message from him on my mobile. Here, after every retirement, I think Supreme Court Observer publishes the numbers of judgments of all the judges, how many judgments they have delivered. And so he said, you are number 1. And I replied to him that I may be number 1 in total, but on annual average, you are the number 1. And I'm sure that you will be surpassing my number in no time. And I'm sure that by now, because I don't keep track record, but my highest number must already been crossed by him. After being appointed as the Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court in 2019, Justice Oka initiated a series of impactful administrative reforms. A defining feature of his tenure was his proactive leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Karnataka High Court emerged as one of the first in the country to implement virtual hearings, thereby ensuring uninterrupted access to justice. In addition, he prioritized strengthening judicial infrastructure at the grassroots level. Several district court complexes constructed during his tenure came to be regarded as model court buildings, reflecting his commitment to institutional improvement and accessibility. As a matter of fact, Justice Oka, myself and two of my colleagues present here, Justice Revati Mohite Dere and Justice Makarand Karnik, we also had an opportunity to work on the Infrastructure and Buildings Committee of the Bombay High Court. And I must say with pride that in our tenure as a member or chairman of that committee, we could do a lot for providing good infrastructure for judiciary in Maharashtra. As a matter of fact, the land on which the new High Court building is to be constructed in Bandra, the groundbreaking ceremony of which was done by the then Chief Justice a couple of months back, is only because of the judicial order passed by Justice Oka in Bombay on the judicial side that we got such a big piece of land. On the judicial side, Justice Oka displayed a keen sensitivity to the rights of persons with disabilities, directing the state governments to prioritize their vaccination during the pandemic. Such orders have underscored his human approach to adjudication and also reinforced the judiciary's role as the protector of marginalized communities. Justice Oka's elevation to the Supreme Court in August 2021 was not just a new chapter in his remarkable judicial journey. It was for me personally a moment of reunion and joy. Our paths have intersected closely over the years, first as lawyers in the Bombay High Court, then as colleagues on the bench, to find ourselves once again together in the Supreme Court felt like coming a full circle. I feel privileged that I get an opportunity to have this function when I am here as the head of the Indian judiciary. I must say that we not only talk about diversity and inclusiveness, but also practice it. The first collegium after I took over as CJI, consisting of my brother Justice Suryakant and Justice Oka, we recommended a name of a scheduled caste judge from the most backward areas of Karnataka to be a Chief Justice of Manipur High Court, who has taken over as the Chief Justice yesterday morning. Justice Oka brought to his courtroom something truly exceptional, that is a rare combination of sharp legal acumen and deep human empathy. His judgments were never just about interpreting the law, they were about understanding lives, resolving real problems, and making justice feel accessible to everyone. An environmentalist at heart, Justice Oka's commitment to ecological preservation has been powerfully reflected in his judicial work. During his time at the Supreme Court, Justice Oka has also consistently reinforced the importance of judicial accountability and efficiency, often speaking about the need for reducing judicial delays and ensuring that justice is neither delayed nor denied. His views on judicial reforms, particularly in relation to trial courts, have initiated an important discourse on how to bridge the justice gap in our legal system. Justice Oka also made a significant contribution on the administrative front of the Supreme Court. He served on several key committees, including those on case flow management, finance, promotions, security, and editorial. His leadership was instrumental in drafting model rules for case flow management across all court levels and in shaping plans to reduce arrears in courts nationwide. On a personal note, Justice Oka's demeanor, both on and off the bench, has been an exemplar of humility, grace, and scholarly engagement. Many of us have witnessed his meticulous attention to detail and his unfaltering patience in hearing each side before delivering his considered opinion. Justice Oka's retirement today does not marked the end of a significant era, but beginning of new innings in pursuit of service to the society and the nation. Justice Oka's judgments will be studied for their intellectual rigor, fairness, and commitment to justice. His contribution to environmental jurisprudence and constitutional values of liberty, justice, equality would leave his inedible imprint. His leadership during challenging times, especially during the pandemic, will stand as an evidence of his vision of a responsive and resilient judiciary. The last 2 days' event are a testament to his unwavering commitment to judiciary. Day before yesterday, the lawyers from Maharashtra had organized a function to celebrate my elevation as a CJI and also to bid farewell to Justice Oka. So after the function was over, we stayed over for dinner along with our other colleagues from Bombay or associated with Bombay. And since he had to deliver his judgments, he excused us and went for writing the judgments. When I went home at around 12:30, I received a call from him that such an unfortunate thing had happened. And he said that he is leaving tonight itself. This function was scheduled to be held yesterday. Therefore, I called an emergency meeting of all the colleagues in the morning. There were quite a few ways whether he will come back or whether the function will be held or not. But I was sure that after attending the funeral, he will be back by the evening to attend the court the next morning. Even after his father's death, he had taken leave only for a day and returned to his work. As all of us have already paid homage to his departed mother, I read it, one of the Marathi newspapers today, that the strong will, the determination, the courage are some of the qualities he has inherited from his departed mother, Vasanti ji. I'll be failing in my duty if I do not mention the contribution of Anuja Vaini, the better half of Justice Oka. As all of us know that the lives of judges as well as the lawyers are demanding, and therefore the home front is entirely on the better halves. She had not only nurtured the children, but made them reach a position where they are highly successful in their careers. Without her support, I do not think that Justice Oak could have been what he is today. His elder son Akshay is a postgraduate from the USA in industrial engineering. He is working in booking and .com in Amsterdam. His daughter-in-law Divya, the only connection with law in the family, is LLM from Leiden University and is working as a law officer in a bank in Amsterdam. His younger son Akhil is a postgraduate, has a postgraduate degree from London School of Economics and works as a political analyst in political consultancy services. As everybody expressed in the morning, Justice Oka will have a longer time for his family. I have my own doubts, knowing him for past 40 years, but I, behalf of on all of us, urge him that at least increase the share of time for the family. As we bid farewell to a truly remarkable judge, we express our deepest gratitude for his invaluable contributions to the judiciary and the nation. Justice Oka will continue to inspire future generations of lawyers and judges to uphold the Constitution and serve society with integrity. Justice Oka, as you move on from your judicial duties, we wish you, the members of your family, all the happiness, good health, and fulfillment in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.